Imagine a city founded by two brothers raised by a she-wolf, growing to become one of the most powerful empires in history. Yes, we're talking about the Roman Empire. Our tale begins with the legendary founding of Rome, steeped in mythology and grandeur. Twin brothers Romulus and Remus, abandoned at birth and nursed by a she-wolf, rose to establish a city that would become the bedrock of civilization as we know it. This city, Rome, was not built in a day, but with the sweat, toil, and vision of its people, it blossomed into a republic, a system where power rested not with a monarch, but with the citizens. However, the road to the Roman Republic was not a tranquil one. It was marred by social and political unrest, with plebeians, the common folk, often locking horns with patricians, the aristocrats, in a struggle for equality and justice. A pivotal moment in this journey was the introduction of the 12 Tables, a code of laws that served as a balancing scale, ensuring that justice was not a privilege of the few, but a right of the many. It was a period of significant transformations, a time when Rome was gradually carving its identity, one stone at a time. But the Roman Republic was merely a stepping stone to something even grander. In the wake of the chaos of civil wars emerged a figure of great authority and influence, Gaius Octavius Thurinus, better known as Augustus Caesar. Under his reign, the Roman Republic metamorphosed into the Roman Empire, a dazzling spectacle of power and grandeur that stretched from the sun-kissed lands of Africa to the chilly climes of Britannia. Augustus Caesar, the first Roman emperor, ushered in an era of peace known as Pax Romana, or Roman peace. He laid the foundations for a government that would control an empire so vast, so diverse, it was unlike anything the world had seen before. And thus the Roman Empire, a beacon of civilization and power, was born. The Roman Empire didn't just rise to power overnight, it was a period of prosperity and expansion, a golden age that propelled it to the pinnacle of its power. Imagine a time when the world was at peace, a time when art, literature, and architecture flourished, and a time when a single empire reigned supreme, stretching from the sun-drenched shores of the Mediterranean to the misty landscapes of Britain. This was the Pax Romana, the era of Roman peace, which lasted for over 200 years, from the reign of Augustus in 27 BC to that of Marcus Aurelius in 180 AD. During this golden age, the Roman Empire was a beacon of stability in an otherwise turbulent world. Its borders were secure and its citizens enjoyed an unprecedented period of peace and prosperity. This era of tranquility allowed the arts and sciences to flourish, and the Romans made significant advances in architecture, literature, and law. The Romans were master builders, and their architectural feats are still admired today. The Colosseum, the Pantheon, and the aqueducts stand as testaments to their engineering prowess. The Golden Age also saw the birth of Latin literature with the works of Virgil, Ovid, and Horace, whose epic poems and lyrical verses continue to inspire and enthrall. But it wasn't just the arts that thrived. Roman law, with its principles of equity, justice, and the rule of law, laid the groundwork for many of our modern legal systems. The Romans believed in the concept of civitas, or citizenship, which granted rights and responsibilities to every citizen, regardless of their social standing. This was a revolutionary idea that has shaped the way we think about citizenship and governance today. Yet the influence of Roman culture and institutions didn't stop at the empire's borders. It spread across the world, touching every corner of the globe and leaving an indelible mark on the course of human history. The golden age of the Roman Empire was not meant to last forever, however. A period of decline and chaos was on the horizon. All empires must eventually face their downfall. The Roman Empire, once the epitome of power and civilization, was no exception. As we delve into the twilight years of Rome, it becomes evident that a combination of factors led to its decline. Economic crises were central to the deterioration of the empire. The costs of maintaining its expansive borders and a vast military put a significant strain on the imperial coffers. Additionally, Rome was no longer the economic powerhouse it once was. Trade was dwindling, and the once vibrant markets of Rome began to lose their luster. The empire was bleeding wealth, and without a robust economy, its collapse was inevitable. Military failures also played a significant role. The Roman army, once the mightiest in the world, was stretched thin across the empire's vast borders. They were continually at war, holding back the tide of barbarian invasions. Eventually, the resources dried up and the military began to crumble. The mighty legions that once struck fear into the hearts of Rome's enemies could no longer protect its borders. Internal strife was perhaps the most insidious of Rome's problems. Political corruption, power struggles, and a series of inept emperors led to a decline in morale and trust in the leadership. The citizens of Rome, once proud of their empire, grew disillusioned. The sense of unity that had held the empire together was fracturing. In the midst of these challenges, the empire was divided into east and west in a desperate attempt to manage the sprawling territories. The Western Roman Empire, with Rome at its heart, was the weaker of the two halves. It bore the brunt of the barbarian invasions and was the first to fall. In 476 AD, the last Roman emperor was overthrown, marking the end of the Western Roman Empire. But the legacy of Rome lived on. Even in its decline and fall, the Roman Empire left an indelible mark on history, shaping the course of civilization in ways that still resonate today. Though the Roman Empire fell, its spirit and influence did not. The ancient Romans left a profound legacy that still resonates in our world today, shaping numerous aspects of our society. Let's start with culture. The Romans were master builders and architects. They invented concrete, mastered the arch, and built roads and walls, things we now take for granted. Many of today's architectural designs are inspired by the Romans, and their engineering principles are still taught in classrooms around the globe. In the realm of language, the influence of Rome is undeniable. Latin, the language of the Romans, is the precursor to the Romance languages: Italian, French, Spanish, Portuguese, and Romanian. Moreover, Latin words have found their way into the English language too. Whenever you read words like actor, audio, or victory, you're using a tiny piece of Roman heritage. Let's move on to law. The Romans were pioneers in the field of law and order. Their legal principles form the bedrock of Western legal systems. The idea of innocent until proven guilty comes from them, as does the right to face your accuser, and the concept that justice should be public. And then there's government. The Roman Republic, with its system of representatives and senators, was a model for many modern democracies. The idea of a senate, the concept of a veto, even the term republic itself, all these come from Rome. Finally, the Romans have shaped our leisure time too. They were the inventors of the bound book, replacing cumbersome scrolls, and they popularized public baths, libraries, and even the concept of the weekend. The Romans have left their mark on every facet of our lives, from the structure of our cities to the words we speak, from the laws we follow to the ways we entertain ourselves. We are all in some way the heirs of Rome. The Roman Empire may have fallen, but its echoes are still heard in the corridors of time, reminding us of a civilization that once was. Yet for all we know about the Roman Empire, there remain mysteries that tantalize us. As we delve into the annals of history, we encounter questions that remain unanswered. Like a jigsaw puzzle with missing pieces, the grand tapestry of Roman heritage has its enigmatic gaps. One such mystery is the fate of the Ninth Legion. This formidable unit of Rome's imperial army, famed for its might, vanished without a trace. Its disappearance has sparked many theories, yet the truth remains shrouded in the mists of time. Another enigma is the true cause of Rome's fall. Was it barbarian invasions, internal corruption, or perhaps the overextension of its vast territory? Historians continue to debate this with no consensus in sight. These unanswered questions beckon us to explore further, to dig deeper into the fascinating world of Roman history. They remind us that every tale has its untold stories, its lingering mysteries. The Roman Empire, a civilization of power, grandeur, and mystery, continues to captivate us till this day.